I am an adult of my spirit. I am an adult of my mind. I am an adult of my thought because I am what I think about, and so are you. Welcome to Alpo. I hope you're having a great day. And I want to get right into today's message, and I think it's relevant for everything that's going on. And that is time. Time is flying by. Number 129 installment. I think it's very important to understand. I mean, we all know how fast time flies. Believe me, I know it more than anybody. This year is my 46th reunion, high school. I graduated in 1975, which is really relevant because in 1975, the Vietnam War ended in April, and I would have been drafted in May. My birthday's May 25th, and so time was important because the Vietnam War ended right before I left high school. Now, I'm 64 years old, and if there's anybody that can tell you that it flew by, it's me. So time flies by. I know some of you who are 25 who think you're old, or you're 35 and you think you're old, or you're 45 and you think you're old, or you're 55 and you think you're old, or you're 65 and you think you're old. But then ask an 80-year-old, ask an 85-year-old, ask a 75-year-old if you're 25 years old and you think you're old, they're going to laugh at you. So even though I'm going into my 65th year, when my father was alive and he was 90, he would, compared to him, I'm young. And he would always say that to me. You're still a young man. Even he would say he's a young man because he'd met people that were over 100 years old. See? So what does this mean by it flew by? What is flying by? I'm going to tell you we take our freedom for granted. Our freedom is what we should all be grateful for. Now, our freedom is recognized in the Constitution of our country. So we have an inalienable right to be free here compared to other places in the world. Now, there's other places in the world that are similar to us. And, you know, for me to brag and say we're the greatest country in the world, I want to say that. I just want to say we're a leader country. But we seem to be put on that pedestal as being the greatest country. That's where everybody wants to get here. And so, ladies and gentlemen, time was free, but not anymore. It is not anymore. Our freedom to do what we want with our time is running out. And it's running out fast. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, of the Georgia Guidestones. If you've not heard of the Georgia Guidestones, this is the Georgia Guidestones. It was built overnight out of the blue in 1980. We're going to go into that a little bit more. And if this should tell you about whether or not our freedom is running out, somebody put it in stone to let us know exactly what is expected of us. Now, there are 10 commandments on here. We're just going to go over them right now. Number one, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Do you understand what that means? That means 500 million. There are 7 billion people on the planet. If this is the goal of the New World Design, then it means there's going to be a whole lot of us being taken out. This is the number one commandment on the Georgia Guidestones. If you haven't looked into the study of the Georgia Guidestones, you need to. Because it spells it out right immediate that our time is running out if this is the goal. Number 2, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. You see that's already going on now. What did Prince and Markle decide? They're only having 2 children and then they're fixing themselves. And they're considered celebration and winning awards for going to 2 children. So you will have to have permission to have a child. Okay. Number 3, unite humanity with a living new language. I'm assuming it's going to be English, right? If you take a study of English, although they have a lot of words, there's a lot of words in the English language, it literally is the less intelligent of most of the languages. So, but in other words, all languages will not be allowed to be spoken. You must speak and grow up immediately. And as you can see, most everyone is using a second language, and it is English. So we may be fortunate in the sense that because we're Americans, we were raised on English. But again, shall we rob the beautiful French language, the beautiful Italian language, the beautiful Greek language, the African languages? Again, even how you speak. Number 4, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. That's weird. Rule passion, meaning your faith, keep it to you. Your traditions, we've got new ones, and you can kind of have the ones that they agree on, all things with a tempered reason. That's very general. But if you notice, rule passion, faith, your belief system, your spiritual belief, tradition. They're going to rewrite history. And all with the tempered reason of gradually moving it out. Number 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Sounds kind of reasonable there. But doesn't that sound like one world government? One party ruling everybody, including the courts. Fair. Who decides on fair? Is fair debatable? Is there even a vote? Number 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Let all nations rule internally. Resolving external disputes in a world court. That means one court. Isn't that the United Nations? Don't we already have that? But now, United Nations, a whole nother subject. Avoid petty laws. Number 7, avoid petty laws and useful officials. Maybe that might be attorneys. Maybe there won't be any negotiation because it's a world court. So if you have a problem in South America, you're going to handle it with a court that has nothing to do with you. But their rule is what will apply. Someone you don't know, someone who's in another country. That's weird. Number 8, balance personal rights with social duties. Balance personal rights with social duties. Sounds like you don't have any rights unless your social duties are in order. Balance personal rights with social duties. Again, you see, everything's about a matter of interpretation, correct? Interpreting, but then how we would interpret and how the New World Design interprets it is another way. Number 9, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. The infinite. That sounds like you got to pick one. Okay. Truth, infinite. The truth with the infinite. Beauty, love. It's funny how I put beauty there. Does that mean only the beautiful people will get to make it? And then going along with that, number 10, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. I find it's interesting it's said twice. Cancer. What if you get cancer? Isn't that a health disease? Be not a cancer on the earth. So if they decide you're a cancer, what? What are they going to do? It's, again, these are the elite laws that were put up. Now, the Georgia Guidestones Center Cluster erected March 22nd, 1980. It's funny. That's like 2 weeks before I became a Christian. Everything's about the numbers, isn't it? And it's also in 7 languages. I think, yeah. 7 languages. You see all the different languages? There's 2 of them there. I think one on the, I don't know what the languages look like. Hebrew or whatever. I only know English. So 7 languages: English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, traditional Chinese, and Russian. Sounds like all the main languages, doesn't it? And it's interesting. It put English first. Interesting. This is basically what the neural design is. It's not me, man. They're putting it out. I'm just giving it to you. You've never heard of this. You got some homework to do. Because time is running out of what? Freedom. Freedom. I would say that this generation of everyone, this generation, mine, the baby boomer generation, is the generation that has lived the freest and onward past us. Okay. My father, his generation, it wasn't so much because they had 2 world wars in the 10th century. Okay. And not only that, then the Korean War after that. Then we go with Vietnam. Then we had a nice little space, about 20 years. And now everything has completely changed. We're literally in 7 wars that we know of. I think you want to say we got out of 1 with Afghanistan, but again, we're at war with a whole lot of countries fighting. So when you will lose your freedom, what's going to happen? You're going to have to go along to get along. You hear what I'm saying? Oh, I didn't say it. I didn't say it blunt enough. Okay, you got to go along to get along to not be killed. This is a warning. It's not a proclamation. This is a warning. And I'm telling to you from the Holy Spirit. See, I spend lots of times in contact, in prayer, in meditation, in understanding, first of all, myself, and then to come out here and tell you what I've learned from this. This is a warning. Okay. The world is turning into debauchery. Our country has to be very careful. What's debauchery? Excessive indulgence in sensual pleasures. The world is living, our country even is through sexuality now. And what's the other one? Violence. Behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. For what? Because they didn't get along. They didn't go along to get along. Now is the time to answer to your own self. We got to grow up. Entertainment. The action of providing or being provided with amusement or enjoyment. How is that? You can see it. Debauchery, porn, chasing sexual pleasures. I'm not about not making love, God. Don't get me wrong. But when it's an excessive indulgence, it's part of your own world destruction with violence, forcing people to do it or not, they get killed. And it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's interesting that people are in the entertainment business of killing people. I was watching a basketball game, the World Championship last night, and every single movie was the theater, the trailers were all about violence. And it's just, what's the resulting of this? The resulting is a shallow spirit, a shallow mind, a shallow body. The day's coming, your freedom is being taken away, and you will have to pick a side. And it could cost you. I talk about Sophia. I'm the one bringing up that Sophia is the Holy Spirit. I'm getting backlash like all anything. But it's true. She is the Holy Spirit. And I'm going to prove it. It's all in the Bible. Anyway, and other books. It's just that it's not time yet. But I will. So you're going to have to pick a side. So I already picked mine. Okay? If you don't pick a side, or a side will force you by law or violence. You see it now. It's violence. So, be an adult of your spirit. I'm an adult of my spirit. If you haven't said that, don't you think it's time to grow up? Right? Be an adult of your mind. Time to grow up. I remember when I was 18, Dad said, got to make a plan, son. Can't stay here anymore. Time to grow up. Sometimes you don't want to. This is the time for you to be an adult of your thought. The thoughts that enter your mind. Be an adult. Don't just let yourself get misled. Ladies, this is for you. Be an adult of your love. You don't have to just sleep with a man immediately. Just because it's a competitive world to find a good man. Find yourself. And you will find that man. Tell him you're on a spiritual journey. Come along with me. Blow his mind. I'm looking for a perfect gentleman. Not a perfect a-hole. You hear me, my lady friends? All right. That's about all I have here, but I got a lot of comments here. Oh, whoa. Look at me. I got a lot of comments here. Oh, Amanda Darling, yay. All the way from Crete Island in the Greek islands. Having a great time. Hey, and Tracy says hello. Hello. Amanda, I personally do think there are too many humans. We should choose to have less children, in my opinion. Adoption is a great option. I agree. I'm not saying that I'm not disagreeing with that. I agree with that. All I'm saying is 7 billion people on this planet, and they only want 500 million. So that sounds like 6.5 billion got to go find somewhere else to live. Yeah, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they're the ones who came out and said, they're only having 2 kids, which, I mean, good. That's fine. My wife had 2 kids. I know nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that. But if somebody else wants to have them, they can afford them. That's a whole different thing. Don't have a kid unless you can afford them, right? Why don't I get an award since I have no kids and I'm working on myself? Hey, you living on an island? Okay, you sailing around the world? I think you're getting your awards already. Passion defies reason. Yeah. What's passion? You have passion for different things. Okay. You have a passion to pass on the word of mother. Okay. And the defying of the reasoning is, I already know going into this, there's nobody going to. I have to convince you to make your own research about her, or you can listen to me and I will guide you through. It's called the Alpo Guidestones. I don't know. That's a nice pun on words. I'm a comedian too. It's being dictated to us, not giving out reasonably. You know, mothers, again, let's reason together. Can we reason together? We don't seem to all have this ability to be reasonable together. There's no more love in the sense because they don't teach class about actually how to love yourself and how to love each other. But they do. They're starting to teach schools on pornography in first graders, and also sex education of having sex with your stepmother, making it legal. I mean, come on, this is true. I am not sitting there telling you stuff that ain't true. This is true. And what do we do if we don't like the world government and want a new one? That's a great question, Amanda. It's called right now divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. So they're dividing us, but not uniting us. Does that make sense? They're causing division and not a unification. Okay. Can't put that one about the VAC. Okay. Okay. That was Chinese and Arabic. Yes. The 7 major countries. Oh, yeah. They forgot. Thank you for correcting me, sis. They forgot Portuguese. And by the way, Portuguese, isn't that a beautiful language? There's so many languages that are just so beautifully spoken. Almost all of them sound more better than English. You know what I'm saying? I think ancient generations were more free, like the Native Americans. Well, yeah, until they were conquered. Hey, don't ask the Native Americans here. I think they'd have a different thing to say, you know? I agree the world is descending into hedonism. Yeah. Well, I think it starts here. You know? Yes, I agree. Love is a mutual exchange. Lust is a selfish taking. Yes. And that's what's, wow, how do we put it? That's the way of the world right now. I'm so tired of extreme violence and sexualization of women being the norm. It absolutely is. And let me see here. Tell me, I still have your, yeah. There's Amanda Darling. For all those who I don't know who she is. She's a world famous DJ who's right now in the middle of touring Europe. And if there's anybody who I've known Amanda for years, and the discrimination that I've seen with her, just with her, who's so talented and yet can't break into the major the major labels because it's absolutely men dominated. And it's almost as if they're, you know, afraid of, you know, just to let women in. And it really is true. I choose truth. Sophia is the Holy Spirit. Absolutely. That's why I'm here. That's for you. Our last one here. Not being sexual and choosing purity makes me feel empowered. I'm on the opposite polarity. Ladies, this is where you got to go. You want to choose to be holy. We're talking about holy. Holy is equals whole. WHOLE. We all have to be whole. You know, you said something about what was it? About the generation. Where were we? Something. I'm sorry. let's see. Okay. It's about just being more stronger, ladies. You can do it. And Amanda Darling is a leader in this field because she is out there meeting new people and everything like that. So thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Tracy, for all your great comments. It's just been one of those days where you can see right now there's a vote going on these to spend trillions of dollars of our the taxpayers' money here and what they're going to spend it on. And again, when you look at investing in the people is where it should be number one, investing in people. And so it seems that we're always getting it less than others. Okay. One more here. Ladies, you don't have to sleep with anyone who you don't know or who doesn't love you. With a woman, you're in a different realm when you have relations with men because you're being entered, so to speak. Okay. It's a totally different feel. So it's very, very important that you guard your sexuality. And men, I'm going to tell you, you want a good woman, tell her you're a perfect gentleman and you're here to protect her sexuality. And women, if they don't answer yes to those two things, move on. If you're looking for a relationship, move on. Move on. I love you all. Remember, I'm an adult of my mind. I'm an adult of my spirit. I'm an adult of my thought. Guard your thoughts. Think about that today. Watch less violence, guys. And love each other like you've never done before. Even if that means opening the door for someone. How you doing? Make them know that you're a great spirit. If you're on this show watching this, you're a great spirit and you don't know it. Maybe you do, and that's why we're together. I will see you again tomorrow, 12 noon. Thank you, Amanda, for being here. I want to talk to you later. Tracy, I love you. I will see you all tomorrow on Alpo. ALPOUGH. That's me. Call me Comment.